jail that because I don't have that.
Good morning. Welcome to Corrections and Code Enforcement Committee. Today is January 25th, 2024. I haven't screwed that one up yet. Present today, we have Public Safety Commissioner Justin Day, Finance Officer Chandra Phillips, City Attorney Paul Jensen. We're joined by the Jail Administrator, Jeff Augsburger, Lieutenant Ethan Bober, Code Enforcement Officers Dan Furness and Chelsea Lewis. Present for City Council today, Councilman Schramm and Councilman Hockett. This time,
Okay, we'll go ahead and get started in corrections, and then I'll just turn that right over to Jeff.
Inmate population today is 161. The average for the month and year will be the same, of course, 164. We've opened advertising for 2 leadership positions, 1 corporal position that closes on the 27th of January, and 1 sergeant position that closes on February 2nd. We've offered full-time employment to, do we say names? No, wait for you?
Not yet,
Yeah.
not until later.
But we offered employment, full-time employment, to a gentleman that is in the stages of the pre-employment process, UA paperwork. It sounds like this Friday that'll be completed and has a start date of February 5th. We'll be attending the career fair, Western Dakota, is that right?
how'd the first one go?
What's that? I wasn't present, Justin went, go ahead.
First one was more for internships, so it was a lot more focused in on the corrections department at USD. Went well. We'll see kind of what we get from it. The jail has a very unique ability for about whatever you're going to do, quote unquote, for the rest of your life. The skills that you will gain from working in the jail, how to be part of a team, work on leadership skills, communication, communicating effectively is a huge part of this job there. So that was kind of our sales pitch in essence, to anybody from business management to biomedical engineering. We had people interested, so we'll kind of see what the application process looks like as they come in for the internships this summer. And then this career fair here.
Oh, what were some of the responses from the USD students?
Some of them were absolute terror. When you said it's a correctional facility and then said that's just a churched up way of saying jail, their eyes got really big and then they kind of just went, oh, thank you, and walked away quickly. Others, it seemed to really kind of spark an interest in. A lot of international students, so we'll just kind of see how everything plays out.
You had the unique opportunity to have someone who's been an intern in our jail.
Absolutely, who is a
For
current
couple months, too.
intern, and that was, I can't tell you how valuable it was to have her sitting there, because she goes to USD. So a lot of the people that, I mean, we kind of told her going in, I said, you recognize anybody from class? I said, go get them. And so she did that, and she was really able to communicate well of what it is to be an intern, what she is learning through her internship at the facility. So that was really good to have her there as well. And then this next one is more of a career fair kind of deal. So that one will have all the department heads going out, because again, they have medical out there, they have law enforcement, they have a plethora of different degrees at this Western Dakota that will fit very, very well into the law enforcement center. So all the department heads are planning on making that trip, and we got 2 tables out there that they're letting us slide together. So we're gonna kind of pack the house with the winter LEC for that one. So there's quite a bit of excitement for that one.
And then the last thing I have for you, I consulted with Chandrick. I couldn't recall last year how we accomplished this. In front of you is a estimate from Mid-Dakota. Last year we budgeted for a washer dryer. This year we just have the dryer being replaced. They require payment at the time of order. of 4404. We budgeted 4,500 for the dryer this year, and need your guys' blessing, approval, right, to go to council, is that right?
So go to full council. There will be, what we did last time is we made them add a couple things down at the very bottom that we'll have them add again this time too, and they didn't have an issue with that, correct, Paul?
Correct.
Yep, and so I can email them if you want me to and just say, can you put the same thing on there as
That'd
last
be
time?
great,
So
yeah.
it's the same thing for council.
Yeah.
Is this the only estimate you obtained?
No, I'll turn in over the $4,000 quotes. We had two other companies, and one was almost 7,000 just for the dryer, and the other one was, I think, 6,400.
And those companies were,
Oh, I don't have it in
You
front
don't
of me,
remember?
but it'll be turned in to the finance office with the 3-quote form that I'm required to do per policy.
Okay.
And this will be, of course, listed as the one that is the cheapest option for the equipment.
was one of those Richard Ewing out of T?
Oh, I have no idea. Micah was gathering the quotes. He turned them in to me. I don't have them in front of me,
Okay.
Brad. But no, I don't think there was one in T, no.
I'd like to know that, because there's a very competitive, long-time
Sure.
washer and dryer outfit.
Yeah. And what was the name, Brad?
Richard Ewing Equipment Company.
Richard Ewing.
Yep.
We're early enough in the year, I don't have a problem with it. I'm required for 3, doesn't matter if I get 4. I mean, okay. Richard Ewing,
I understand that. That's why,
Yeah.
and I wouldn't mind in the future, even though this might have been the lowest one, I'd like to see
Sure.
what the other bids were.
you want those brought to committee
I-
prior to.
I
being
think
turned in.
so, yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not trouble, and I just didn't bring them today. But I certainly do that. We can accomplish that yet, Chandra, this week, I guess. We'll put it out there and try to get apples to apples, and then, before we, send it to you guys. Other than that, any questions on anything else? Ethan, what do you got?
Nope, you guys did a good job.
That's more than you said the last time. You're working on it.
I'm good every time.
This is a little out of turn for me, and I apologize, but I do want to, and I've had this conversation with the lieutenants and Jeff quite a bit in the last 2 weeks, but for some of you that were involved in when we took over the commissary, that's the way I'm framing it, because that's the way they framed it down there. I took over. I do that sometimes, but there was a lot of additional paperwork, a lot of additional steps that they had to do so that we could get everything in line. And these guys have done an absolute phenomenal job of working with the finance office to get us our information, of double checking their own work, of just, I can't praise them enough for everything that they've done to get that information up here so that it's working. Before you guys came in, we were talking about something else they did with a check and a deposit, and they're doing phenomenal down there with the financial side, which is new for them in the last 2-3 years. So I want you to know, and I want council to know, that I greatly appreciate everything you guys have done. It's a benefit for you, it's a benefit for the city, so thank you.
Got to tell you, I knew you were doing a great job because I haven't heard about it for about a year and a half.
And I would just kind of like to piggyback off that, like what these guys and gals have done down at the LEC, from the jail to all the other departments. It is 100% no longer this is the way we've always done it. They have embraced change, and it has come quick, and everybody, and I'm saying that from the leadership all the way down, and it seems like that's the way it works, because if I tell Jeff, hey, great job, Jeff will never ever take credit. He'll always give the credit to those underneath of him. Ethan's the same way. I say, hey, great job on this, and Ethan's like, oh, no, I couldn't have done it without the guys and gals that were underneath on the front. So this whole mentality of what we have down there now, truthfully, you've heard me say it before, but I mean it wholeheartedly. It's second to none because of the staff that we have in that place. and they aren't scared of change. Don't always like it, but boy, they go full battle rattle at it.
They haven't thrown me in the jail with all the change I've thrown out of the.
You don't understand how close that has been. Yes.
Yeah. Thank you.
So moving on next to code enforcement.
Dan has prepared a 5-minute speech about his background and experience, so I'll let him go.
We need to shut the camera off here.
Dan, the podium was up there. That's where you go for this one.
No, all we really accomplished is training up old Dan here. It helps that he has not only law enforcement background, but contractor background, so that's been kind of fun to watch those two for him converge. And I think he's a little less nervous than he was the first day. So I think we're making progress, and I've sent him out on his own a couple times already, so. I was gone one day. He already took 2 phone calls about building permits, and he had to spend some time in the ordinances to figure all that out. So I think I'm leaving it in good hands, so.
Appreciate that. Yeah, no, like, and the training that I've been getting, like, it's so helpful, being able to have that time and then spend a little bit of time independent and then come back and then, debrief and move forward and learn some more things. It's super beneficial, so.
I tried to throw him for a loop yesterday. I gave him a couple of fake building permits and couldn't get him caught, so.
Nice try.
We're gonna learn Encode today, so.
Yeah, so best of luck.
And I will tell you too, I would like to, just so council is aware of the job that Chelsea is doing within this transition.
And before.
Oh, absolutely, and before. But just truly making sure that the city is not going to lack in this area. And the training that she is giving with Dan, because I talked to Dan right afterwards, and he said, oh man, I feel so much better after getting this day with Chelsea and kind of getting the ins and outs. And so I want to thank you and welcome you. And, this truly, I know we say it, but it's going to make everyone else upset, but I think we got the best team in the entire city between the LEC and the code enforcement, so.
Sorry.
I don't need any snotty remarks, Chandra.
Throw me in there.
You're part of everybody's team, Sandra. We can't do it without your office. So you're in there. But no, we've got really great people.
Now that all the love hugs and sunshine's out of the way, council questions.
I want to know what Dan's going to do with these damn cats.
Dan, hang on, watch.
Probably
Watch,
starts
Dan.
with ordinance committee.
Whatever council decides Dan's gonna do with those cats.
That's
through the
right.
ordinance.
I don't disagree with that, but in particular, it was brought up yesterday, and Dan, you were there. And I'm not sure that I disagree with the development of if you feed stray cats, you're gonna get fined.
No, yeah.
And yesterday I asked the question, who's gonna go out and find the other ordinances in other towns? Is that gonna be a Dan?
I'm working on that
A
right now.
Dan job?
I know.
Okay,
That's my job.
okay,
And then Dan and I, actually, before Chelsea leaves, she and Dan and I are going to get together and go through all that.
okay.
But no, I've been through Rapid Cities almost completely yesterday. I'm going to get through that and go on to the other 3 cities that were discussed. And we'll do some comparison.
Because when I left here yesterday, it's like, this is never gonna get accomplished. And I don't want that. Okay, no different than the hay bale ordinance. Nobody wanted anything done with that. But this needs to get done, and it needs to get done before spring, I think. We can't be taking 2 and 3 years to try to figure out how I'm gonna keep my neighbors' non-cats the ones that my neighbor is feeding from messing up my yard. And, you know, if I have to take my own measures, that's not right, you know? So we need to get right on it, and if it's code enforcement's job to get it done, then we need to enforce whatever we currently have. And it's no different than
I think it'll
anything
take
else.
eventually a joint effort. I think code enforcement will be involved, but without a doubt, I do think the police department will have to be participating in.
As well as
as
animal
well.
control.
Absolutely.
And animal control.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep.
Yep.
But right now, it sounds like we have no authority whatsoever to do a damn thing. And the only way we get that authority is by writing an ordinance that accomplishes what we want to accomplish, and that is, I don't want your cat in my yard. And if you claim it's not your cat, then so be it, quit feeding it. You know, and I don't know how that can be, you know, how the heck you gonna prove that the 2 gallons of food that I put out isn't just for my one cat? I mean, there has to be some reasonable stuff there, but,
That's where that harboring word comes in, though.
pardon me?
That's where that harboring word comes in. I mean, it's not,
People in this town know who's feeding the cats. I've heard several names that people know, it's common knowledge, who in this town is feeding cats. Sure. It shouldn't be a huge issue to maybe knock on the door, if that's the avenue we want to take, and say, hey, quit feeding cats. I mean, I've heard a lot of names. Everybody knows. So it's not rocket science.
At this point, we
We can
plan on
stop
dropping
it.
them off at Brad's house, so,
Because he's putting out 2 gallons of food every day.
yeah, so.
Don't say it, Brad.
You can see it just thinking, right?
I know.
Not hardly, I waited till the attorney left.
I was happy to oblige you yesterday, I just hated to have to leave, but guarantee,
Put that in the notes, Brad.
But it is an important thing because, you know, we all have cats that we like, we all have dogs that we like. If you like them that much, then control them. And that's what it's about. I don't want cats in Joe's yard, because Joe doesn't have cats. He doesn't want cats, just like children. I don't want your kids in my yard either. You know, no different than anything else. I don't want you parking in my yard. So it's no different than any other thing we have, except we get this emotional thing because a cat can't take care of itself or a dog can't take care of itself. Well, neither can a possum. So maybe we ought to have, you know, possums running around town all over.
We do.
Yeah, I know.
Always
Yep.
miss the cat food.
But I wonder who we have
Yeah,
putting food
because
out
of the
for.
cat food.
Cat food.
The possums
True,
are
they,
eating
I
you'll always
understand.
find a
They love
possum
cat
eating with
food,
the
yeah.
cats.
Possums and raccoons love cat
possums and coons love cat food.
100% they do.
Yeah.
And some of it too, you're gonna get, cats sometimes hitch rides to town. Same as your possum,
Yep.
same as everything else.
Yep.
And so you're never gonna fully get rid of the problem, ever. Because we have a ton of traffic that comes through town, hay bales, all these things that come through town, and that's where they hide.
that's a hot topic there.
Yeah, sorry.
3 of you were not here for that meeting yesterday, and I'm going to ask you, what is your guess? And they gave us an estimate of how many feral cats live in winter.
150.
151.
Oh, price is
I was gonna
right.
say 100.
Right.
100? They est-
350.
350.
Oh, yeah, he wasn't here either.
They est-
That was his guess.
They estimate that there's well over 1,000 feral cats roaming winter.
1,000.
In the last 3 months, they've spayed and neutered 99 of them.
1,000 of them.
And they know that there's,
And 3 of them were pregnant already.
Yes,
Yeah.
that
That
was,
was another
least
deal, with
3
at least 3
kittens.
kittens,
yes.
so.
But I remember, you know, my time as an officer here in town, like, you would see, all night long, you would see cats, and it wasn't always the same cats, it was just cats all night long.
Yeah.
So,
But we need to get right on it. I mean, this taking 6 months or 8 months or 12 months.
Well, I'll write as fast as I can, Brad, but if you want to help, I'll take your help.
We'll read it for you.
I'll take your help.
Yeah. But it just seems like everything is so slow, like the hay bale ordinance took over a year.
And Brad, that's why
For a
we do
stupid
say
hay bale.
that we move at the speed
Yeah,
of
but that was
government.
delayed.
Yeah.
Even
was
before
delayed
it
with
got
the
delayed, it
referendum.
was still a year.
Yeah, but even at that, I mean, it's
Yeah, it
just,
did take-
we're trying to satisfy the wants of the citizens. And first off, it's like, get half the citizens to agree on anything, you know, because you're not gonna. So you just have to take your lumps and write the bill and see what they think.
So, we've been working on a city logo, and yesterday our conversation was, is that maybe we should have hay bales and cats, since they're so important.
Hey, Bill, the cat sitting on it.
Sorry, I had to add.
Too
something
soon.
to it.
Too soon.
We're gonna make shirts, let me know if you want one.
Is that what you're gonna do now? Yeah.
Cats and hay.
Yeah. All right.
There could be worse problems, really. There could be worse problems.
You wouldn't think that when you started talking about eliminating cats. There's no worse problem than doing that. So,
Any other questions from council or?
The interest in going forward.
No. Mayor?
You got nothing?
Good.
I've heard it.
All right, well then, thank you, everybody, for coming this morning.
You're trying to get out of here. Got things to do?
Always.